What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the KellyCast. Things are back to normal this week, at least with us here. I know it's been a while. I guess it was week 2, week 4, whatever.
Week 2 is the last time we actually sat down and did a show, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty. I haven't had my partner here to help cheer on with the games this year.
Speaking of your partner, there's been a lot of short content going out on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook. I'm trying out a new thing with the predictions this week. There's been a lot of content in the KellyCast, but there's also been some conversation. And pretty much we're trying to figure out where to take this channel, what it should be, where it needs to go. And today we are trying out a new thing, a podcast-style video. Instead of having things at the ready, instead of just talking Bills, me and Mike are just going to talk some football. We're going to go around the league. We're going to talk about whatever comes to mind. If it's Jamarcus Russell, Josh Allen, somewhere in between, it's all good.
Yep. Let's do this thing,
Let's start with the jersey today, Mike. Let's explain. Who do we got on today?
The Seattle Seahawks. I don't even remember. Is it Jenkins on the back? I just felt like wearing green because we didn't do a green screen today, so I figured I'd take full advantage of that.
I think it's John Jenkins. Not 100% sure, but I think it might be John Jenkins. Of what I know of him, not very good.
I could pull up my spreadsheet and let you know.
You could also look it up on your computer that's right in front of you, but that's okay. So the NFL trade deadline came and went this week, Mike, and there were many trades. The Buffalo Bills have been players in the trade market ever since Brandon Beane and,
Not this year. We were up against the cap, so we really didn't make any huge splash other than a little before the deadline with Cooper.
They did trade for Amari Cooper, and that helped. Devontae Adams obviously traded to the Jets. That was all a little bit prior to the deadline. But when it came to deadline day, Mike, there were a lot of moves being made, one by the Washington Commanders. And me and you we haven't sat down in a while to talk some football. So I want to get your thoughts on Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders sitting at 7-2 for the first time since 1997.
That's 97. Wow. That's a pretty impressive stat, Washington. I mean, the Bills were bad for a long time, but since 97, that's impressive. No, but I mean, Washington has been impressive this year. Jaden Daniels is looked a lot like Rookie of the Year, like what's his name, Stroud from last year from Houston. So
and I think that's a good comparison, but it's also important to remember, like, Stroud is having not a bad year, but I would go as far to say that he's having a sophomore slump. Yeah, and maybe it's just because he lost his top 2 targets, Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins. But that's besides the point. The Commanders made a move, Mike, for Marshawn Lattimore, the Pro Bowl corner from the New Orleans Saints. Now, apparently I don't know if this was the first team or where they were in the rankings, but one of the teams that called was Kansas City. And I have to say, I've said it on social media, I'll say it again, thank you. Thank you for not sending him to Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. That's definitely a huge thank you.
It would have made him all that much better.
I'm so disgusted that they're I saw a meme. It said they're the worst 8-0 team in NFL history.
See, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers were the worst 8-0 team in NFL history. That was a couple years ago when they went like 11-0 and then lost down the entire stretch. So I don't think they're the worst 8-0 team.
No.
I do think, and I talked about this in one of the shorts this week, there's 3 teams in the league, Mike. Well, there's 32, but 3 teams in the league. Bills, Chiefs, Ravens. Mm-hmm. They can all win games when they shouldn't. The Bills and Dolphins last week. Tua had 3 incompletions. We gave up 400 yards. We only forced 1 turnover. We should not have won that game. Kansas City played New Orleans like garbage a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Football. Guess what? They still walked out the winner.
Yep.
So it's this innate ability to just pull wins out of a hat. But another trade here that happened for a playoff team, the Detroit Lions acquired Zadarius Smith from the Cleveland Browns. That was a move that they needed to make after Aiden Hutchinson went down. They are running that NFC right now. What do you think about Detroit, Jared Goff, and that squad?
Detroit's showing a lot of what they did last year. So, I mean.
Picking up right where they left off.
Right where they left off.
And they're beating good teams. They beat the Green Bay Packers pretty handedly. And how are your feelings on your Dallas Cowboys right now?
I think the meme, well, not even meme, the video loop of Dak Prescott sitting on the sideline going, "We effing suck."
Yeah.
Sums it up. I don't understand how even their defense, man. Their defense, how do you go from top 5 defense to just complete garbage, just absolute garbage this year? They couldn't stop a peewee team, I feel like, this year.
So you brought up the memes, you always do.
Yeah, it's my favorite,
The meme about the Dallas Cowboys right now, I know where you're going, but I'm going a different route. Amari Cooper was traded for a 6th-round pick.
Right.
DeAndre Hopkins traded for a 6th-round pick. Amari was a 3rd as well, right?
Yeah, 3rd.
And Devontae traded the same thing, blah, blah, blah. The Cowboys traded for Jonathan Mingo of the Carolina Panthers. They sent a 4th-round pick for a guy who has 1 catch and 1 yard on the entire year.
Yeah, I mean, that's a classic Jerry Jones move.
He said he was going to make a move, and this was his move.
And then they gave us back Jordan Phillips and who else?
I don't think Jefferson was on their team.
I thought Jefferson was on there. I thought
I'm not 100% sure.
I'm pretty sure they both got released from the Cowboys.
Really?
I'm pretty sure they did. I can't be 100% sure.
Well, listen, Mike, I told you we both have computers in front of us.
Yeah, we do.
So let's take a look. Quentin Jefferson, the last team he played for was the Cleveland Browns.
Okay. So there we are.
March 19th, he was released November 5th, and then on November 6th, he signed with the Bills. So he was just released. You have that correct. It just wasn't.
I got half of it
just
correct.
Wasn't the right team. Other moves made at the deadline include the Cincinnati Bengals, who are playing right now against the Baltimore Ravens. They acquired Khalil Herbert. That's only because I think Zach Moss got hurt. Whatever, not a huge move there. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers make 2 moves, acquiring Mike Williams from the New York Jets. And what was the other trade they got?
I honestly
Preston Smith from the Green Bay Packers, defensive end.
Okay.
Tre'Davious White.
Yep.
Back in the AFC on the Baltimore Ravens. How do you feel?
He's just a filler.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a backup.
Would you have wanted him back, knowing that he was on the trade block?
At heart, who doesn't want him back at heart? But I mean, as a player, he's dropped dramatically. I mean, if he was still at that high level of play, he wouldn't have been on the market. Even though the Rams are 500 right now. So
yeah, the Rams dealt with a lot of injuries at the top of their schedule, and they're just getting healthy right now. They're playing some tough matchups, but I agree 100%. I posted about it again on the KellyCast Facebook page. If you're not following it, please find us over there. Also on TikTok and Twitter. But I posted about it. Love Trey Day, always will. Right now, we have no need for him. We really don't. Jamarcus Ingram's been playing good. And then you have Benford, who's been at a Pro Bowl level all year. You have Rasul. You have Taryn. Sorry, Trey, but it just doesn't work.
The room's too full. He wasn't gonna add anything to the team.
The New Orleans Saints. I happened to see what happened with them. They lost to the Carolina Panthers by a point. Following that, their team went on social media and basically ripped apart the organization, saying, "We're better than that. We shouldn't have lost to the damn Carolina Panthers. We should be a 500 team." All these things.
Baloney. Their record shows that they're not better than that. I mean,
yeah, but they made a move in the organization, Mike, and they fired their head coach. Dennis Allen got fired, and the last time
because of the same guy twice.
The last time Dennis Allen was fired, his quarterback was Derek Carr. And I also heard another stat. Oh my God, this was crazy. The most losses in 3 years in the NFL, David Carr. 4 years, David Carr. 5 years, David Carr. 6 years, Derek Carr. 7, Derek Carr. 8, Derek Carr. 9, Derek Carr.
It's in
10,
it's in the
Derek
name.
Carr. It's all in the family, man. They're going to have the most losses combined between like 4 seasons and however many that Derek Carr continues to play.
And you know what's messed up, man? I like both of them. I thought they were going to be halfway decent. And
well, David got screwed.
You know.
He got drafted to the Houston Texans team that didn't have any protection. He was the most sacked quarterback in all of football. We never know what was going to happen with him. And Derek, in a way, his career didn't play out as well as it should have either with the Raiders. Like, he started off really good, and they didn't build a team around him. It reminds me of Aaron Rodgers on the Packers. Yeah, he got the Super Bowl.
Al Davis is too busy worried about his pumpkin pie haircut.
His bowl cut, yeah. But it reminds me of that, like just not building a team around a guy. Like, you have to go all in. When you have the guy, make the necessary moves.
Right. Follow Buffalo's league. Follow Buffalo's league. We knew we had our guy. We've built around him, and now we've got a guy who's pulling what everybody said about Patrick Mahomes last year when he lost all of his top receivers and he had nobody to throw to, and they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I mean,
well,
can't disagree with you.
Let's talk a little bit about the Bills' receiving core right now. You have Amari Cooper, wrist injury. Keon Coleman, wrist injury. Mac Hollins playing, sadly. Not the biggest Mac Hollins fan, I'm sorry. Shakir, fantastic, beautiful, love that man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who else he got?
Nobody. We just had to elevate somebody off of the I don't even know the guy's name.
I'm
for
worried,
the second time he's been elevated this year. I know that.
I'm worried about Keon because from what I heard, he did not practice yesterday.
Right. And
Amari and Benford both did, which is good. But that hit that Keon took, first of all,
I do have some good, maybe not so inside news, but at least one of my coworkers' sisters works at McDonald's, and he was there, and he didn't have a cast or anything on. So I mean, maybe that's a good sign. I'm just saying, maybe it's a good sign.
The McDonald's intel is crazy. But what I want to get back into, Mike, is the Dolphins-Bills game, that hit on Keon Coleman by JP, Jordan Poyer. Listen. I don't think it was dirty. I don't think that's what it was. Jordan Poyer is part of that last breed of safeties who go in head first. It's just the way he was taught. It's the way he plays football. Was it ugly? Yes. Was it dirty? I don't think so. I think him coming out and saying that is good, but it was a penalty.
We talked about that. Mm-hmm. We talked about that exact thing. He's just, like you said, he's just a hard hitting player. He played like that when he was here, and
we got penalized for it.
And everybody's whining because you know it's against the Bills, and of course we're supposed to do that as fans, right? But
I'll be honest. When it happened, I'm glad it was Jordan Poyer, because of all the people that I would have wanted it to be, he's number one on that list because of how many times he's cost us in those situations.
Yep.
Because
yeah, I mean Miami fans are getting frustrated with him. I seen again. I'm gonna bring up the memes because I love them, but it said that somebody had said, if you told me that the Bills were still paying this man to sabotage the team, I would believe you.
Yeah, I saw that too.
It was fantastic. I'm sorry. The Dolphins is the oldest, right? I mean, when you growing up, it was, the Patriots, and obviously still the Patriots was a huge rivalry.
Well, they certainly weren't a rival because we never won.
But they were the most hated team. But me growing up, it was Miami. Mm-hmm. Miami was that huge rival team, and I just I marvel, I bask in their demise.
We talked a little bit about Kansas City already, but I want to go back to them for a second.
The new bane of everyone's existence.
Newest
since Tom Brady and the Patriots.
DeAndre Hopkins gets traded there. Still hate it. We talked about that already on one of the YouTube and TikTok shorts. Are they going to go undefeated? Is it going to happen? Like, are you scared of the fact that it's a possibility, or do you think that they're going to lose one of these games down the stretch?
I mean, I want to. I as a fan of the NFL, not even just the Bills, because again they're hated in unison at this point. I want to say yes, but I'm trying to take a look at their schedule, who they have left.
Well, they got the Panthers coming up.
I mean, yeah.
Do you think they pose any kind of threat?
Not dude. To themselves, they're a detriment to themselves. Where do they got left?
Broncos.
They got Broncos, Bills, Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs, or Browns, Texans. Oh, buddy. I mean, again, I think we talked about this the other day, and the Bills are probably the only Bills, maybe the Texans.
Maybe the Browns.
The Browns, you think the Browns got a shot at beating them? Yeah, they got a real shot at running the table, and I think it's absolutely insane. And you know what? I don't know if I really meant it when I said it, but I these words did come out of my mouth. I said I hope they go undefeated, and they lose in the whatever round we got to play them in the divisional round to us, and just get their season wrecked, just like Tom Brady did. And because dude, if they get a perfect season and win a Super Bowl, we will never hear the end of it ever. A three-peat?
I don't know I honestly don't know what kind of a toll that will take on me if that happens, because my hatred for the Chiefs is on such a personal level at this point because of what they've done to Buffalo in those big moments.
Yeah.
That I don't even know how I would react, man. Like, it would be hysterics.
It would be absolutely freaking insane.
There's a lot of bad teams this year, Mike. A lot of teams are struggling, and I think the 2-7 New York Giants have like the 7th pick in the draft because of how many teams are doing so bad this year.
There's got to be like 4 or 5 different teams that are 2-7 right now.
What do you think the worst team in the league is? If you had to point to one, who is it?
Ooh. Carolina's obviously competing for the worst team in the league again this year.
Yeah, the Giants got to be up there.
The Giants are definitely there. It's like I said, it's a 5-way tie, man.
How about Jacksonville?
Tie. That's a surprise. That's a surprising team too. Like, you were just surprised with the Browns being so terrible this year. I think I believed in Trevor Lawrence a lot more than what I should have. I think.
I don't know what happened, man.
Because
even Green Bay, dude. Green Bay paid Jordan Love, and he's been making some questionable decisions. It reminds me of the Fitzpatrick deal. When Fitzpatrick was in Buffalo, he got paid. We were like 4-0 or whatever, and we went 6-10.
I don't know if there's actual facts, but nearly every team that's paid their quarterback big sums of money has just taken a crap this year.
Yeah.
Almost every single one of them. I think probably at least 80% of them.
Let's go most shocking in the other direction.
Okay.
Who do you think has improved the most from last season going into this year? I think you got to take a look at the Falcons with Kirk Cousins this year has been something else.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Saquon Barkley and the Eagles. What did you think about that move?
That, man, as much as we talk about Josh Allen and his hurdles, that was probably the best play I've seen in 20 years or more.
The best 15-yard run you'll ever see. It's not even all about the hurdle. It's not.
No, he juked out of like 4 guys? 3 guys?
Juke, spin, reverse hurdle,
and literally, if that was a safety or linebacker, if that DB wasn't there, he would have been gone. He was gone for a touchdown.
It was insane.
That was crazy.
The question I asked after I saw that play, how does that man, Jerry and Jackson of the Jacksonville Jaguars, how does he go home? What does his family say? Hey, dude, you just got dunked on. Like, you don't have a home anymore, dude.
He gave it to him from the back.
You're cut, dude. Get off the squad. You're not meant for this.
Oh, man.
The other thing I was thinking, when he's up there, that high in the air, I'd be worried about my nuts getting clipped, man, with
Oh,
the helmet.
Yeah. Well, that's more of a forward thing. That's what I said. They gave it to him from the back. You got the ass first, and then right to the Oh, that was so sick. I think I watched that play like, I don't know, 50 times, man.
Yeah. I think when you're talking about the most improved teams, you'd be remiss to miss on the Minnesota Vikings, who sit at 6-2 and have Sam Darnold playing still at an MVP level. Everybody in the NFL that's not a Vikings fan is waiting on Sam Darnold to show that he's the old Darnold.
Yep.
And I honestly think that that's not going to happen, man. He's in a really good system, and whether he gets the $60 million per year that people are saying that he might, or he goes to a new team, he's definitely a better quarterback than what we've ever seen with another team.
It seems like every quarterback that leaves the New York Jets just ends up flourishing eventually. So far.
Where's Zach Wilson?
Probably banging someone's mom.
You think he's still good enough to bang moms? I don't know.
He's still making millions. Anyone who's making millions is worth.
I don't know. How about the Arizona Cardinals? They've been a little bit of a surprising team, sitting at 5-4 in their division. They're up there at the top because San Francisco has been dealing with injuries.
San Francisco has definitely fallen from grace this year, and the injuries. Nobody likes to make the injury bug an excuse, because it just feels awful in sports to like. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, that whole conference was completely different last year.
You've been struggling with your predictions this year. Last year you were on another level. What happened?
More people. I've been watching less football. I don't know what other BS excuses I can give, buddy, but I'm disappointed in myself, man. I've had the trash can 3 times now?
Probably,
4 times?
Yeah. Sam had it a three-peat back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, we call that beginner's luck, but
no, she had the trash can back-to-back weeks.
back-to-back weeks. Yeah. She I thought you were talking about when she had that streak going where she was first,
2
second
titles.
place.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. It's like you said, it's a weird season, buddy.
Melissa has gotten 1 game wrong in multiple weeks. She's just this close to going undefeated.
She's also gotten to pay attention to a lot more football than I have because I've been the one. The roles have been reversed, and I've been the one messing around with the kids and taking care of the kids while she's up there with the freaking red zone.
Jenny, Kevin. Tell me that's not what it is.
Just let me run the team. Just let me have my own team.
Oh man, this has been a blast. For the KellyCast, we'll be seeing you in the next one. Hopefully, it's not another 10 weeks until we come on the air.
I hope not. This one was kind of fun.
Until then, take it easy, and as always, go Bills.
And adios.
Stop with the Spanish already.